Hey guys, Tomasz DGM here, and today I will be showing you how to use FL Studio, or mainly its user interface. So, let's begin. Okay, so when you launch FL Studio, this is what you should see first. Now let's ignore the fruity limiter. We will go through that later. So the top bar is pretty much your controls. On the top we have the timer. Just below it we have the play, pause and the record button, for example if you have any instruments, and that works for both the song and the pattern that you are creating. Right next to it we have the BPM, which is the beats per minute, how fast your song is being played. Right next to the BPM we have a pattern selector, which is a quick and easy way to select your patterns. We'll get through that later. On top of that we can see how loud each of the channels are. Just beside that we have a RAM and a CPU display, which shows us how much power and memory your computer is taking. On the bottom we have a lot of random keys, but don't worry, you'll probably only use 2 of them and I'll go through them in a second. And then last but not least we have a lot of buttons which turn on the patterns and turn on the UI basically, which I'll show you what it all does. Okay, so on the left you can see your browser, which is where all of your sounds and effects can be taken from. This can be accessed using this button, and this is your step sequencer, which is where you'll be creating all the loops. Left clicking onto the pattern allows you to see the options. The main ones are renaming and duplicating. If you press on a sound or an effect that you already have, you'll see a new menu pop up. In this menu you can change how the sound behaves, including reversing or changing its pitch. There are 4 other tabs available. The 2 main ones that you will use a lot are the SMP and the FUNC. You can drag and drop from the browser onto the pattern area. Left clicking the pattern boxes allows you to highlight them, right clicking deletes them. The pattern editor can be accessed using the second button. After you have created your loop, you can left click onto your main mixer, and that will paste the loop that you have just created. You can also use the legacy pattern blocks, which I believe have been removed after FL Studio 10. The legacy pattern blocks are mainly used for your drums. As you can see, I have just cloned the first pattern that I have created, and I have edited the second pattern to make it different. By standard, every loop has to have its own channel. This is where the mixer comes in. You can access the mixer using the 5th button. In order to assign a loop to its specific mixer track, you select the instrument that you have used and set the number in the effects box. After that, you can right click on the mixer track and rename it. After you have assigned all the loops, you should be able to see the volume of it. On the right side of the mixer track is where you assign all your effects. You have up to 8 slots, which is more than enough. I will make another tutorial of how to use the plugins. Right-clicking onto your instrument and selecting piano roll allows you to create melodies. It shows you which keys you are using on the left. This is your pencil tool, which you can use to draw the notes in. This is your paint tool, which allows you to draw a lot of those notes at the same time. This is your delete button, but you can also right-click in order to delete the notes. Mute allows you to mute certain sounds. This is mainly useful on the mixer. This is your slicing tool, which allows you to cut your loops in specific places. The last are select, zoom and playback. Playback allows you to play that single loop that you have created. This button here allows your computer keyboard to be used as actual keys. Metronome is mainly used with vocals to try to adjust them to the same speed. This button does a countdown before you record any instruments. This button will only start the song if it hears an input. I never use the other keys, so I don't actually know what they do. You can turn off or on your tracks by left clicking on them. Thank you for watching this really short tutorial. I hope it helped, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!